Okay, so what we have here today is a four-wheeler with carburetor problems. So what I'm going to have to do is tear into the carburetor and see what I can do. It's leaking gas. Every time you pour gas in there, it just dumps out the overflow. So let's get started. Let's see this seat off there. And there's the carburetor, naturally. Never tried to do something like this with this kind of carburetor before, so I'm going to be learning as I go. Off there entirely. Okay. So that takes care of the airbox. Difficult part. How's this carburetor bolt on there? I'm just going to let this sit here so that I don't risk destroying the plastic there. Okay, so over here where you're going to have a really hard time seeing it, naturally, is a little clamp that holds the carburetor onto the intake. Just loosen it with your screwdriver because Phillips is the easiest thing to strip out, that's why they use that. And it should come off, I think. I may want to loosen it a little bit more, huh? Come in. There we go. Okay. So the carburetor is still kind of stuck from all these vacuum hoses. That line there, I don't really know. It's got to be throttle cable there. So I'm going to pull this off, this fuel line here. Okay. That's probably choke or throttle. Not really sure. So let's see. Wait, what? It's opening the butterfly valve, so what's this slide for? You could tell I haven't really worked much on four-wheelers yet. That's got to be primer. Interesting, I didn't know this had a primer. That's probably idle speed adjustment. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is the fuel overflow, and I'm not sure I'm going to find it without taking this off and getting the carburetor all the way. Oh. Okay, so it looks like my hunch was right and I'm not destroying it by doing this. Could be a... ouch. Yep, choke plunger. Wait a minute. Yep. Okay, so this back here is probably the throttle cable, meaning even if I can get it off of there. So it's moving the throttle now. The question is how I get the throttle cable off of the throttle so that I can actually get it out of there. I'm really not certain how you do that. I might have to take the whole throttle body out of there. Probably. Rats. Let's give her a go. Okay, so that's just a cover. There we go. Got it. Okay. Okay, so my cameraman was lax there. He didn't record me pulling this out, but this I just unthreaded from the bottom. So now your carburetor should be free. So let's take it over to the workbench. Okay, so just like me, you should be nice and clean and use some cardboard to take it apart on. In spite of the fact that it's 20-mile-an-hour winds today, and there's dust blowing everywhere. And so I don't lose my screws, put them in like that. And put some penetrating oil on those screws. I'm pretty sure they come through here. I'll let it penetrate for just about a minute. Alright. Okay. Alright, well, we're going to have to try a vice grip then, because the screwdrivers aren't doing anything but trying to strip. Okay, so grip it nice and tightly. And attempt to break it free. You can rock it back and forward if you need to. There we go, I got it. Because what you're trying to do is break friction with the thing it's tightened against. Even if you're not turning it left, turning it right a little bit will break friction. And may you reuse that screw, or it may be too close to stripped for reusing it. This one will be a little more tough. But I got it. That was not too hard. Probably going to want to replace this one though, it's really getting stripped bad. Okay, now let's see what's inside this float. Oh, that's nice. Well, there's definitely some crap in there. That's for sure. I'm going to just clean this out here. If there's any brake cleaner out here that actually has some squirt left in it. No, I don't think so. Okay. Come on. That right there might do it, maybe. So I'm going to try putting it back together and I'll be ready to take it apart again if it needs it. There's no petcock or anything, so this is always on. Just plug it in here. No one even tightened it on yet. So now we just need a little gas to put in there and see if it'll still dribble out. So I'm gonna go get the gas cans. Gonna turn it over and see. Nothing's dribbling. Hit the primer. Let's see if that's what that actually is. Okay, so it started up for a second, and is it still not dribbling? No, not dribbling at all. Alright, so let's get the carburetor put back together and see what happens. So we forgot to turn the fuel tap on, so we're going to redo that test. I still don't see anything coming out. Keep watching that, I'm going to turn her over. And it's not going to run with all the vacuum lines disconnected, but not dripping. Okay, now we can get the carburetor put back together. Okay, so get the fuel line plugged back in, and then we can tighten the carburetor down on its clamp. Okay. That was easy. Okay, so we're gonna get the airbox and stuff. You turned it up. On the air filter. Huh? The hole? Hose? Oh yeah, we got it. This here is the guy we're fixing the four-wheeler for.
What?
That's the foreman.
You're taking a video?
Yes.
My YouTube channel.
Well, we'll tell him to go subscribe. Go subscribe to Excellence in Agriculture. He's my brother-in-law. And this was his four-wheeler we were slaving on for the past day and a half.
Well, it was your idea.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's still slaving. Let's see.